Hey everyone, it's Xant. So I promised you all a 2.0 update overview and an in-depth look at aspects that we all need to know for this patch, and here we are. Just to make things clear, I will cover other topics first and end off on the 6-star parts and everything entailing it. I know some people came here just for the 6-star stuff, so if you look at the video scrub bar, at least on desktop, you can see the video is already partitioned into sections. Hopefully everything you want to know is covered here. If you're not on desktop, you can just look in the description. Enough dallying, let's just get into it. Starting off, let's talk about the new recycle system. It works more or less the exact same as before. Before 2.0, you would put in 3 parts from a single machine and get a random one back. If you had put in 3 of the same part, you'd be guaranteed to not get that part in return. You could only do main frame parts though, so there weren't weapons or shields involved. Dang bazookas. I wish this was here back when I was rolling the quad. Anyways, after 2.0, this has slightly changed. Now, weapons and shields are able to be recycled. Beyond that, you can now also select up to 3 types of parts you don't want to show up. It works like this. If you put in no matching parts to the same machine, you can remove 1 part from the possible results. If you put in 2 of the same parts, you can pick up to 2 to remove, and if all 3 match, you can remove 3. This overhaul is leagues better in that we have much more control over what we get back. However, it's also been slightly nerfed as there are more options for some machines, meaning this new system will only see maximum returns on suits with just main frame parts, head, torso, arms, leg, back, because this gives you a 50-50 chance of getting what you want. Anyways, it's a net positive change at the end of the day. Next up on the 2.0 update list is the Gacha rate changes. This one under most people's radar, and it's not as bad as some people make it out to be, mainly because of knee-jerk reactions, and everything is still exactly as it was before. So the rates before the 2.0 patch were as follows. 4-star parts had a 5% rate, 3-star parts had a 25% rate, and 2-star parts had a 70% rate. Now, 4-star parts have a 2% rate, 3-star and 2-star haven't changed at all. However, the 3% that was removed from 4-star has been shifted to the new 5-star. It seems going forward, new gacha parts will be coming out as 5-star instead of 4-star, which I think is really cool, saves on a ton of resources and capital. No complaints from this guy. Sokai has seen similar modifications, as the 4-star rate has gone from 7% to 2%, while 5-star has been given the missing 5%. However, pilots have again been shafted. No changes on that front. Also, getting a 5-star part has the same animation in the gacha as a 4-star. I think that's a shame, really. I think the golden glow of a 5-star would have been really cool to see when rolling, but here we are. Okay, now to summarize a bunch of smaller changes that came in this patch. Our rank cap has increased from 190 to 200. When in combat, your health bar will be green if you're at max, and when you take any damage, it'll change back to its normal color, and obviously when you refill, it'll be back to green. This is to assist in the no damage challenges that we get every so often in missions and whatnot, and I think it's nice because it's better knowing than, being 1 HP off. Arius has been added to the friend capsules. Ball has been added to the blueprints alongside other 1-star parts. A new weapon type, double rifle, has been added. Does that mean Strike Freedom in part 2? Hehe. Expert points have also been added. This is actually pretty cool. Using parts that are level 80 or higher gives these expert points after a mission is ended, and the expert points get kind of added into a global pool. So it's your account wide, right? It's not just for a suit. When you reach a certain amount of expert points and collections completed, so you've collected enough full Gunpla, you'll see a % boost in gear effectiveness. So just keep using your level 80 and higher parts, and just keep collecting parts as you go from events, gacha, and all that stuff, and this number will increase. Since the cap of expert points is tied to your account level, it's like your level times 100, you will eventually hit the cap. Once you do, an overflow bar will take the excess points and you can obtain standard capsule tickets from filling it. A harder battle mode has been added, but it's still inaccessible. While the rewards are 6-star tune-up items, so hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And on the topic of 6-star parts, time to break those down, as they've been intimidating many players. This is going to take a while, so get comfy. First of all, is 6-star worth it? Well, absolutely. There's no question. You'll see huge stat gains from a level 90 part, which is the starting cap of a 6-star part at EX or trait level 1. It also adds another mark slot, we all know what those do, and a new sub-slot. Now, this is the source of confusion for many, and I'll touch on it in a moment and kind of expand on what it is. Now, is it worth upgrading, even if your part or pilot, whether sub or not, isn't at max EX or trait level? Yeah. Even if you can't get those last 9 levels, you'll still see a colossal stat improvement. If I remember what I read correctly, something like 20% of the stats found from 80 to 99 are in the last 10 levels. So you're still gonna get 80% worth out of the base part. Totally worth it for stuff that make up the meat of your build stats. Now, to tune up to a 6-star part, you're going to require a few things. You're going to need 3 Gold Awakening chips, 5 Attribute chips that match the part you're upgrading, so speed for speed parts, power for power parts, and technique for technique parts, then 5 Gold Word Tag chips that match the part you're trying to tune up. For example, the Kshatriya head that I have here, it required 5 Xeon word tag chips and 5 Force Space word tag chips, as well as obviously the 5 Power Attribute chips and the Gold Awakening chips. It is an investment. There was a lot to collect, but the head also saw pretty much a 50% boost in stats going up to level 90. So what other benefits are there just beyond bigger numbers, if that's not enough for you? Well, recall what I mentioned before, a subslot. All 6-star parts have a subslot added to them, and in here you can place a part that meets certain criteria to gain a portion of its parameters, pick word tags from it, and even make use of its EX skill or trait while keeping your current part. Criteria pretty much falls under the main part, and subpart must be the same slot, so head with head, legs with legs. Weapons are a bit more restrictive though, as you can only have a subslot matching the weapon type, so you can't use a bazooka with a beam rifle, you can't use a beam sword with a beam axe, and so on and so forth. So here, I'm going to bring up the subslot window for a 6-star part. We'll start from the literal top of the screen. On the left side is your main part. On the right is your subslot part. When you first open the window, it'll say not set, so put something in there. Right below this is the parameter window. The blue numbers are your final displayed numbers on the part, and in the brackets you can see a quick calculation of the main part's numbers added with the transferred parameters of the subslot. This is calculated from a handful of factors, well, the transferred parameters anyways. First, matching word tags. Second, EX or trait level of the subpart, and finally, whether or not the part is the same as the main slot. At maximum, you can carry over 35% of the subpart stats if the EX trait is maxed out, the word tags and parts all match. Frankly, I don't think it's worth stressing about this carryover too much, and to explain why, let's continue going through the window. Under parameters, you can see the look box. This is the cosmetic appearance of your part, and it's directly tied into the EX skill of a part. So, if you wanted to use the Strike Noir Back's EX skill, you'd have to have the Strike Noir Back look selected. Traits do not fall under this restriction, however, so it can look like anything and use traits, it's no problem. Following that, we have the EX skill and trait selector. Traits may be freely chosen with any appearance like I said, and also like I said, EX skills require the part it comes from to be the cosmetic appearance of the resulting part. Finally, the last section here is the word tag selector. Here, you can pick and choose the tags you wish your final part to have. Frankly, this is what most people should be concerning themselves with. Along with the ability to take the best EX skills in the previous box, these two things are going to make up the meat of what you're going to be sitting down and calculating when figuring out what you're doing with your 6-star stuff. And okay, before you ask, you can freely unslot and change the subslotted part to whatever. It's not permanent, you're not losing parts, none of that. It's just you can't use it in other builds because it's considered equipped. Something to note though, integrated parts are a little funky with this system. You can subslot integrated arms on normal arms and vice versa. But this may be unintended and changed later, so don't take that as gospel. However, if your 6-star part is the integrated one, you gotta play a little bit with the word tags. technically integrated parts is the same part, times 2 for word tags. So if you change a tag, it's actually +2 instead of +1. So just something to think about as you're building your ideal suit in your head. Now, after all this, I assume you kinda get the gist of what this is allowing us to do. You can now mix and match word tags and traits freely. The only hiccup, obviously, is the EX skill if you care about your part's appearances. Otherwise, this is just a straight win. Thankfully, we also have a skinning system announced for 2.1. We don't know when it's coming, we just know it is. So we'll have even more flexibility with our suit's appearances when that drops, probably freeing up a lot of resources for the 6-star main part, so you don't really have to play favorites anymore. Okay, so with that, 2.0 has been dissected, and I'm out of words to discuss it. Hopefully, you enjoy this new progression tool we've been handed, as it allows for truly crazy builds to take center stage, and I'm actually really excited to really sink my teeth more into this. I've brought up my main build on my screen here, and here's the thing, right? With just these 2 parts becoming 6-star, my suit has jumped up from about 23k shot attack up to what you see here. It may actually have been a larger jump than that, because I remember it being at like 21k or so when I originally built it. So there's a lot of potential with the 6-star system to get humongous stat returns, and what I'm looking for by the end of my build is to have a Xeon word tag, a high firepower word tag, and a Ace exclusive word tag, and I'm hoping that I can push like 38k with this suit. I should be able to, but we'll see. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching as always. If you do enjoy my content, if you enjoy these types of videos, leave a like, leave a comment. It helps get around, helps other people see it, and it helps me out at the end of the day as well. Anyways, peace out. I'll see you in the next video, guys.